It's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me.
I can buy myself flowers, write my name in. Even though we're going through it and it makes you feel.
Oh, that last night we let the liquor talk. I can't remember.
We're lost in the lights, lost in the lights. I might kill my ex, not the best idea. It's some real big mistakes, but you make the worst one.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday.
Try that in a small town. See how far you make it.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime.
Cold shoulder at closing time. You begging me to stay till the sun.
I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I let
Sliming you out, sliming you out, sliming you out.
Biggest to what? Biggest to what?
Was it over when she laid down on your couch? What
I'm
if
vanilla, baby. I'll choke you, but I ain't no killer, baby. She 28, telling me I'm still a baby. Before we begin, if you want to see music bios or more good videos like this, hit the subscribe button. And without further ado, on to our feature presentation. Welcome back, everyone. Today is time for the annual ranking of all the songs that charted #1 on the Hot 100 in 2023. This year, not counting that annoying Mariah Carey Christmas song and that Brenda Lee song, we had 17 #1 hits compared to 13 last year. This year's #1s included a Swiftie holdover from last year, one of the biggest songs on the radio in some time, a remix from a 2017 cut, a country Maroon 5 song, a K-pop song from a BTS member, a song by an artist who finally reached the top, a return of a Best New Artist winner, another K-pop song from a different BTS member, one of the most controversial songs of all time, a song from an artist who never charted anywhere prior to this, one of the best duets of the year, another controversial artist who helped hip-hop go #1, Drake, more Drake, a song from 2019, a song from The Vault, and a last-minute song from Jack Harlow. You got all that? Good, because I'm adopting last year's formula. I'm going to go in order and give a few words on the song and how it got there and did it deserve the top spot, and place them in a tier list, and in the end, I'll give my rankings. And if you want to do a tier list yourself, I'll leave a link in the description below on that. So with that being said, let's get into the hits. Before we begin, let me explain the tiers. We have the excellent tier songs that deserve to be #1 and rightfully so. The good tier songs, which is just a tier below. Then we have the mid tier, and that goes for songs that I don't think is bad or good. The bad tier is the songs that didn't deserve to be #1 and songs that I don't like. The Christmas tier, that's where Mariah Carey and now Brenda Lee goes. And the worst in trash tier, well, we'll explain when we get there. The first song to go #1 in 2023 was Antihero by Taylor Swift from her record-breaking album Midnights, an album that I still haven't listened to. And while I'm not a fan of Taylor Swift the person, Antihero was fine for what it was trying to accomplish, even if her music is not for me. It became her longest #1 song to date, her longest top 10 hit to date, although Cruel Summer is on pace to breaking that, and her longest charting hit overall thanks to the Brainwashing Eras tour. Last year I placed this song on the good tier. This year I'm bumping it up to excellent tier, and I think this might be her best hit to date, and that's saying a lot. Miley quickly made us forget about 2022 as she dropped Flowers as it debuted at #1. It became one of the biggest radio hits of the decade. Quality wise, I did place this on the dishonorable mention on my worst hits list, but it's by far not the worst chart topper from 2023. It did break records, but I'll place this on the mid tier. 2023 saw the most songs to go number 1 that weren't released between the years 2022 and 2023, with 4. And here's one from The Weeknd. This song was from his Starboard album back in 2017 as it went viral on TikTok. The only reason that this got number 1 was because of a remix that featured Ariana Grande, who hasn't released much music since 2021. Quality wise, this is a good song that I like, but the fact that this song was released in 2017 is going to rob this from the excellent tier, so good tier will have to do. Last Night was the longest running number 1 song of 2023. 16 non-consecutive weeks at number 1, surpassing Harry Styles as it was for a solo artist, and is one of the longest running top 10 hits with 32 weeks and counting. And given the fact that this was a country song, doing this adds on to the legacy. I wish the song didn't suck, not the worst Morgan Wallen song of that year, but I'll say this song lasted number 1 8 weeks too long, and it robbed better songs from the top spot. It also gave country new life, for better and for worse, in the mainstream. So despite this song being the longest lasting number 1 of 2023, I am placing this in the bad tier. I don't have much to say about this one. It got the number 1 on overloading the sales, but once that went away, it broke Taylor Swift's Willow record for the biggest number 1 fall, going from number 1 to number 45 the next week. The song didn't last much longer on the charts either, the shortest number 1 run for 2023, and because of that, I'm sorry, I gotta place this in a bad tier, but it is better than Last Night. Finally, SZA has her first number 1 hit, and if it wasn't for Taylor Swift, she would have been the biggest artist of 2023. SOS broke many records for an R&B album. For Kill Bill, it played the patience game to get to the top. It spent most of its chart history at number 2, just behind Antihero, Flowers, and Last Night, but she had to pull some shady tactics like a sales discount and a remix with Doja Cat to push it to the top. For me, I'm placing this in the excellent tier, and again, I am happy SZA is getting her just due. Last Night hogged the number 1 spot for the summer, but for 1 week we saw the return of Olivia Rodrigo with a number 1 debut. I almost put this song on my best list, but I didn't get that same feeling as I did with Driver's License. It's not having the best chart run like previous mentioned, but I do think it's a good song, just not a great one, enough to place this one in the good tier. Jungkook played the sales tactics, but he also had radio behind him, which is a rarity for a K-pop song. But this song didn't move the wheel for me, and he and Latto have no chemistry. But quality aside, I'm placing this on the mid tier because for a week, he blocked the next number 1 from getting to the top. Number 1 off the reactions from both the left and the right. And I already went in on this song, and repeating myself will be too exhausting. So I'm just going to place this in the special tier and move on. Number 1 for the same reasons, but there is more weight to this because Oliver Anthony never charted anything before prior to this. It also got another week at the top because it was used as a topic of debate for the Republican primaries, and afterwards he made a statement saying he's not their pawn. Honestly, he doesn't even want to be a big megastar, and I didn't place this song on the worst list because there were some points that I agree with them with, but we're not going to get into them. It's very mid at best. Zach Bryan and Casey Musgrave's first number 1 hit, and it's one of the best songs of the year. Not much to say how it got to the top, but the fact streaming stayed on board for this long makes it even more impressive to me. Excellent tier, no questions about it. The first hip-hop song of the year despite it being nominated for a pop category at the Grammys, and it came with some controversies over Satanism. It went viral on TikTok, thus radio throwing weight behind this. At first the song was mid, but after her album came out, the song did grow on me, so I could place this on the good tier. I'll give it that much if little else. This got to number 1 as Drake was gearing up for his For the Dogs release and teaming up with SZA. Drake isn't good on here, in fact he's awful, and SZA winds up saving the song, but not enough for me to place this on the bad tier. So let's move on to now this is more like it, as this is Jermaine Cole's first number 1, Long Overdue. Even though this song is early in its chart run, I'm surprised radio is on board with this song and not that Yeet song. Call It a Reach, I could place this in a good tier. It's not a bad song. Okay, you're gonna have to follow me on this one. Cruel Summer was a cut from Lover back in 2019. Many feel like this should have been the lead-off singer for that album over Me, and it took her 4 years to realize that, thanks to her Brainwashing Eras tour, and this became one of the biggest songs of the summer. Quality-wise, this is a great song, but because it came out 4 years prior, and some sales discounts, I can't put this in the excellent tier, so I have to settle with the good tier. Yet we're not done with Taylor Swift because at this point, Taylor owes us nothing. We have another song from the vault, and unlike her previous vault tracks, this one is sticking around for now. I'm unsure on where to put this. It's not the greatest song in the world, but it's not the worst song in the world. I'm curious on how it'll hold on in 2024. I guess good tier is good enough here. And we have one more last minute number 1, and it came from Jack Harlow. This one will have the likelihood on topping the charts towards the beginning of the year, but surprised Jack Harlow rebounded after nearly getting cancelled this year. As for the song, so far I don't like it. Maybe things will change in 2024. So for now, this will go in the bad tier. And that concludes the rankings. Tell me what y'all think in the comments below. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.